Hello, dear boys and girls. Welcome back to our English lesson. How are you? I hope you guys are fine and ready for our lesson. But before we start, let's listen to the song and try to guess what we are going to talk about.
I want to be a nurse, wanna be a dancer, wanna be an astronaut.
I want to be a doctor, a lawyer, or maybe even president.
I can be anything I want to be.
I want to be a daddy, I want to be a teacher, I want to be a rock star.
I want to be a farmer, want to be a firefighter, want to drive a race car.
I can be
anything I want to be.
Have you listened very carefully? So, what are we going to talk about today? Yes, you're absolutely right. Today we're going to talk about jobs, learn some new words, and do some interesting exercises all together. Let's go! But before, let me ask you a question. Whose tools are these? Artist. Who is an artist? An artist is a person engaged in an activity related to creating art, practicing the arts, or demonstrating an art. Where does she work? Studio. And whose tools are these? Firefighter. Who is a firefighter? Firefighter is trained to control and put out fires. Firefighters must work quickly and as a team to keep fires from spreading. Where does he work? Fire station. And whose tools are these? Doctor. And who is a doctor? Doctors are people who practice medicine. Doctors are trained to keep people healthy and to heal the sick. And where do they work? Hospital. And whose tools are these? Carpenter. Who is a carpenter? A carpenter is someone who builds and repairs things made from wood. Where does he work? Carpenter's shop. Whose tools are these? A cook. Who is a cook? A cook is a profession for individuals who prepare food for consumption in the food industry in settings such as restaurants. And where does he work? Restaurant. And whose tools are these? Police officer. And who are the policemen? They are people who work for the police, are called police officer or policeman. They are work out of a police station. And where does he work? Police station. And whose tools are these? Scientists. Who is a scientist? A scientist is a person who studies or has expertise in science. A science tries to understand how our world or the things work. Where does she work? Science lab. Whose tools are these? Engineer. And who is an engineer? An engineer is a person who designs and builds complex products, machines, systems, or structures. Where does she work? Factory. Whose tools are these? Teacher. And who is a teacher? A teacher is a person who helps people to learn. A teacher often works in a classroom. And where does he work? School. Whose tools are these? Singer. And who is a singer? A singer is a person who sings. Anyone who is singing is a singer, but some people do it as a job, like professional singer. Others may sing without being paid. And where does he work? Broadcasting station. And whose tools are these? Vets. Who are they? A veterinarian or a vet is someone who gives animals veterinary medicine or medical treatment. They are doctors for animals. And where does she work? Animal hospital. And whose tools are these? Pilot. Who is a pilot? A pilot is a person that drives a vehicle, that is, form of transportation, such as an airplane. The pilot of a flying machine is usually in charge for the whole trip. And where does he work? Airplane. And whose tools are these? Farmer. And who is a farmer? A farmer is someone who grows plants and raises animals for human use. Farmers have to work very hard and long hours in order to be successful. And where does he work? Farm. And the last one, whose tools are these? Hairdresser. Who is a hairdresser? They are people whose occupation is to cut or style hair in order to change or maintain a person's image. A hairdresser may be female or male. And where does he work? Salon. And now, guys, let's talk about the most unusual jobs. Let's start with the first one, and it's about water slide testers. They are those who take multiple trips down the slide to see how much water it needs, how quickly you can reach the bottom, and how fun it is. And the next one, paper towel sniffers. They sniff paper towels for manufacturers to make sure they don't have any bad smell. Worm pickers. They walk in grassy areas like gardens, parks in the evening and pick up earthworms. Pet food testers. Test pet food to evaluate the flavors and check if it's of good quality. Snake milkers. They spend their days pushing certain types of snakes into a plastic container to get milk from them. Bed tester. They test beds or mattresses and pillows for companies and hotels. Golf ball divers. They are responsible for collecting all the golf balls from the bottom of ponds on courses. And now, guys, it's time to have a practice all together. We are going to do some interesting exercises. Let's go! Here, guys, you have to fill in the empty gaps with proper jobs that were given before. For example, the pilot flies a plane. I will give you some time for this task. Let's go! Have you finished? Let's check your answers then. Second sentence, the answer here is the singer. The singer sings songs. The doctor works in a hospital. The farmer farms the field. And the next one, the police officer arrests thieves and criminals. The firefighter puts out fire. The carpenter makes wooden objects. Let's move to the next one. And it's time to read a little text. I'm going to read this text about firefighters, and then I'm going to give you some time to read this text on your own. Let's go. Aren't firefighters cool? Yesterday, I was playing video games in my room when I heard people screaming. I went out and saw my neighbor's house was on fire. In less than 10 minutes, the firemen arrived and fought against the fire for 1 hour until they made it. Wow, they are really brave. One of them entered the house and saved the Johnson's dog that was trapped in the fire. I made a decision. I want to be a fireman when I grow up. I will be strong and brave enough to fight against the fire, to save people's lives and property. I can't wait. I can already see it in the newspaper. Brave fireman rescues a family of 4. Mom will be really proud. And now it's your turn to read the text. Have you finished? I hope you guys understood everything about this text. And now we're going to do some interesting exercise related to this text. So here we have to mark true or false according to the text. And if the answer is false, you will have to justify your answer. I will give you some time for this task. Let's go! Time is up. Have you finished? Let's compare and check your answers all together. So the first one is false. And why false? Yes, you were right. The boy's house wasn't on fire. It was neighbor's house on fire. The second one, the boy thinks the firemen are brave. It's true. The third one, he admires the firefighters. It's true. It took long the firemen to arrive. It false. It took 1 hour to extinguish the fire. It's true. The boy's neighbors have a pet. It's true. A fireman saved the dog's life. It's also true. The boy wants to be a firefighter when he grows up. It's also true. And the last one, he wants to be as strong and brave as the firefighters. And it's also true. You have done a great job. Here we have another task with unusual jobs. And we have to match the unusual jobs that we learned before with their description. I'm going to give you some time for this task. Let's go! Have you finished? Let's check your answers all together. So the first one is water slide testers. Water slide testers, they are those who take multiple trips down the slide to see how much water it needs, how quickly you can reach the bottom, and how fun it is. And the second one, and the answer here is paper towel sniffers. They sniff paper towels for manufacturers to make sure they don't have any bad smells. And the third one, the answer here is pet food testers. Pet food testers test pet food to evaluate the flavors and check if it's good, if it's of good quality. On this slide, we can see the continuation of the previous task. I'm also going to give you some time. Time is up. Let's compare and check your answers. So the first one, and the answer here is snake milkers. Snake milkers spend their days pushing certain types of snakes into a plastic container to get milk from them. Snake milkers spend their days pushing certain types of snakes into a plastic container to get milk from them. The next one, the answer is bed testers. Bed testers test bed, mattresses, and pillows for companies and hotels. And the next one, golf ball divers. Golf ball divers are responsible for collecting all the golf balls from the bottom of ponds on courses. And the next one, worm pickers. Worm pickers walk in grassy areas like gardens, parks in the evening and pick up earthworms. Let's read one more text, but firstly I'm going to read this text about helping children grow up, and then I'm also going to give you some time to read this text on your own. My name's Albert and I'm a teacher. My students call me Mr. Smith, and I love my job. I've been a teacher since 1990, and I've had the opportunity to help hundreds, maybe thousands of children to learn and prepare themselves for their future professional lives. I hope I have helped them learn a little bit about life and maturity, and have also given important advice on how to be responsible adults and citizens. It's a hard job and requires commitment and patience, but I wouldn't choose another one. When I see my students progress at the end of each semester, I understand that teaching is really in my blood. I'm going to give you some time to read this text. Have you finished? I hope you guys understood everything about this text, and now we're going to do some exercises related to this text. Here we have to mark true or false according to the text. And also, if the answer is false, you will have to justify your answer. I will give you some time for this task. Let's go! Time is up. Have you finished? Let's check your answers all together. So the first one is Albert is a teacher. And this one is true. And the second one, his students call him Mr. Johnson. And the answer here is false. They call him Mr. Smith. The next one, he's been a teacher for many years. It's true. He doesn't like his job. And the answer here is false. He helps students understand mature people like their parents. It's false. He gives important advice on how to grow up fast. And the answer here is false. And the next one, it's an easy job in his opinion. And the answer here is false. His job requires commitment. It's true. In his opinion, a teacher must be patient. It's true. And the last one, he would choose another job if he had the opportunity. It's false. It was our last exercise, and you have done a great job. But it's time to say goodbye. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye. Have a nice day.